Welcome back to our channel, where we break down the biggest stories, the deepest drama, and the most compelling moments in the soap world. Today is a brand new day, and we have a massive, industry-shaking topic to unpack. Thank you for joining us, and without any further delay, let us dive straight into the heart of the matter. I need to talk about Kirsten Storms, and I need to talk about her right now. Because if you have been paying attention to anything happening in the General Hospital universe, you know that something massive has shifted. And I am not just talking about a storyline on screen. I am talking about the real, raw, beating heart of the show. I am talking about the woman who has carried the legacy of Port Charles on her shoulders for decades. I saw the new photo. I read the new statement. And let me say this clearly. We are witnessing a complete and total rebirth, and I am absolutely here for it. Let us start with the visual, because in the medium of television, the visual is everything. Kirsten Storms is a brunette. Read that again. Kirsten Storms, the woman who has defined the blonde, bubbly, fiercely loyal, and sometimes tragically misguided Maxie Jones for almost her entire life, has completely shed her signature look. A new hair color, a new look, and undeniably a totally new attitude. And I do not mean that in a bad way. I mean it in the most empowering, earth-shattering way possible. When an actor who has been locked into a specific visual identity for a legacy soap opera completely changes their appearance, it is never just about hair dye. It is a declaration. It is a shedding of skin. It is Kirsten looking at the world, looking at the industry and saying, I am no longer who you thought I was. Because she has left General Hospital. The news is out, the reality is setting in, and I have to be honest with you, it is a devastating blow to the canvas. As a scriptwriter, I look at the structure of GH and I ask myself, how do you replace Maxie Jones? The answer is you do not. You cannot. This is the girl with BJ's heart. This is Frisco and Felicia's daughter. This is the character who survived the teenage rebellion years, the tragic loss of Nathan West, and the absolute unmitigated disaster that was the Peter August storyline. And let me just pause here and say this. The writers put Kirsten through absolute hell during the Peter years. They dragged Maxie's intelligence through the mud, making her blind to a cartoon villain, and yet Kirsten acted the absolute hell out of every single scene. She elevated material that had no business being elevated. She gave it emotional truth when the plot had none. And now she is gone. But I am not here to mourn her departure from the show, because honestly, after reading her recent Instagram post, I am celebrating her escape. Kirsten has moved to Tennessee. She has packed up, left the toxic, suffocating bubble of Los Angeles, and relocated to the South. And she took to Instagram to lay it all out for the fans. No publicist, no sanitized PR statement. Just a woman, raw and unfiltered, speaking her truth. Can we be honest about this for a second? The level of bravery it takes to post what she posted is staggering. We all saw the TMZ reports. We all saw the headlines a few months ago about her ex-husband, Days of Our Lives star Brandon Barash, filing a restraining order. We all know that their daughter Harper is currently staying with Brandon and his family, while Kirsten focuses on her mental health. The soap press can be absolute vultures. They take a deeply personal, painful family crisis and turn it into clickbait. Kirsten had been quiet since that news broke, and frankly, she had every right to be. But the silence ended, and it ended on her terms. She wrote, despite everything going on in my life right now, I still feel that moving to Tennessee was the best choice for me. I read that, and I felt a punch to the gut. The honesty in admitting that her life is frustrating right now. She is not pretending everything is perfect. She is not giving us a fake, glossy Instagram reality. She is in the trenches of a massive life transition, dealing with legal battles, co-parenting struggles, and her own mental health journey. And she is standing tall in the middle of the storm. And then she said something that absolutely shattered me, something that anyone who understands the entertainment industry needs to read twice. She wrote, Do I have the blessing of keeping a job in this industry since my parents moved our whole family from Florida to here with the sole purpose of me becoming an actor? Absolutely. I am proud of myself for managing most things on my own, but that life became the only thing I knew how to do, or thought I was capable of doing. Let that sink in. This is a woman who has been acting since she was a child, from Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, to Belle Black on Days of Our Lives, to Maxie Jones on General Hospital. Her entire identity, her entire worth in the eyes of the world, has been tied to her ability to hit a mark, memorize lines, and cry on cue. She was brought to Hollywood for one purpose, and for decades, she delivered. She gave her youth, her energy, and her emotional sanity to this industry. To realize, as an adult, that acting is the only thing you know how to do, and to finally have the courage to step outside of that box, that is breathtaking. That is the kind of profound self-awareness that most actors never achieve. They just keep spinning on the hamster wheel until they burn out. Kirsten decided to break the wheel. So what about the situation with Brandon? She addressed that too, and she did it with the kind of class and directness that I deeply admire. She said, "I will say briefly that there is currently an issue involving Brandon, and this issue will be resolved hopefully soon. I hope people here don't worry about me or think there is something bigger going on other than two ex-spouses resolving a disagreement, and that issue will be resolved." Am I supposed to pretend that this makes sense to the tabloids? Because it doesn't. The tabloids want a war. They want a messy, destructive Hollywood divorce narrative. But Kirsten just shut it down. She basically looked at the camera and said, "We are exes. We are having a disagreement. It is being handled. Back off." She stripped the sensationalism right out of the story. She took the power back. As someone who analyzes character motivations for a living, I can tell you that this is the move of a protagonist who has finally realized she is the author of her own story. She is not playing the victim. She is not attacking Brandon. She is simply stating a fact and drawing a boundary. And let us talk about the mental health aspect of this, because it is crucial. Kirsten stepping away to deal with her mental health while Harper stays with Brandon is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate sign of strength. We live in a society that demands mothers be perfect, that they sacrifice themselves on the altar of parenting until they have nothing left. Kirsten recognizing that she needs to heal, that she needs to get her own mind and spirit right before she can be the mother she wants to be, is incredibly responsible. It is hard, it is agonizing, but it is right. Now, let us look to the future, because the rumors are swirling, and the user notes I am looking at mention something very specific: a new show, a new chapter after leaving GH. If the story that Kirsten Storms is getting a new program is true, it proves that this entire situation is not a breakdown. It is a breakthrough. It is an explosion of new potential. I mean, honestly, think about what Kirsten Storms could do with a brand new character. Think about what she could do on a different network or a streaming platform where she is not weighed down by 20 years of Port Charles continuity. For years, she has been trapped in a specific rhythm of soap acting. She knows the beats, she knows the pacing, she can do it in her sleep. But a new show, a new environment, that is going to light a fire under her that we have not seen in a very long time. I have watched General Hospital for a long time, but my authority does not come from the years I have logged as a viewer. My authority comes from knowing how a story breathes. I know when a writer is failing an actor, and I know when an actor is saving a script. Kirsten Storms has saved more bad scripts than I can count. She has sold emotional beats that were fundamentally unearned by the narrative. She made us care about Maxie even when Maxie was acting like an absolute fool. That takes a specific kind of genius. That takes a deep, intuitive understanding of human emotion. So when I see her as a brunette, living in Tennessee, fighting for her peace, and gearing up for a potential new television project, I do not feel sad that she left General Hospital. I feel thrilled. I feel like we are finally going to see the Kirsten Storms that has been hiding underneath the Maxie Jones persona for all these years. Do I think General Hospital will suffer? Absolutely. You cannot pull a thread that thick out of the tapestry without the whole thing unraveling a bit. The canvas will feel empty without her. The relationship she built with Spinelli, with Felicia, with Mac, with Brooklyn will all have a massive void. The writers are going to have to scramble to fill the emotional space she occupied. But that is their problem, not hers. Kirsten's job right now is to heal. Her job is to figure out who she is in Tennessee, away from the cameras, away from the expectations of the fans, and away from the pressure of being a child star turned soap veteran. Her job is to resolve her issues with Brandon so they can successfully co-parent their beautiful daughter. I am fiercely protective of actors who give their all to this genre because the soap genre is grueling. It is a grind. It demands 50 pages of dialogue a day. It demands tears, screaming, and emotional exhaustion on a daily basis. To survive that for as long as Kirsten did is a testament to her resilience. To walk away from it to save her own life is a testament to her wisdom. Let me say this in closing because I need this to be absolutely clear. The brunette hair is not just a style choice. It is a crown. It is the crown of a woman who has walked through fire and is coming out the other side entirely on her own terms. We are watching a real-life character arc that is more compelling, more honest, and more triumphant than anything the writers at General Hospital could have ever scripted for her. I am standing with Kirsten Storms. I am rooting for Kirsten Storms. And if she is bringing a new show to our screens, you better believe I will be the first one watching, because this is not the end of her story. This is just the beginning of the best season yet.